What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Welcome to episode 15, volume 4 of the Fantasy Formula, the number one fantasy podcast in all of Hickory, North Carolina, broadcasting live from the Mesh Studios in the lovely downtown Hickory metropolitan, what is the word, John Mark?
Metropolitan?
Okay, that sounds good.
Metropolis sounds good.
Thank you.
Like that.
Thank you for the save there, buddy. Hey, man, we're week 11 NFL fantasy football. It's coming down to crunch time here in this small town of Hickory, North Carolina. 3 leagues. I go 0-3 last week, struggling at the finish line. How about you, John Mark?
I went 1-1, so sitting 6-4 in our league here in Hickory, 5-5 in my man versus woman league.
Ooh, you definitely need to make the playoffs on that one, right?
You know, the women are actually pretty darn good, man. I ain't gonna lie. They have good drafts. Like all the guys are making like 20+ moves.
Right.
The girls are sitting at like 3 moves and kicking butt, man. I don't even know what it is.
That is weird. Glad I'm not in that league. It hurt my ego if I lost to a girl in fantasy football, buddy.
I already hurt mine.
So let's jump right into it. Week 11, we've got 4 teams on bye. We've got the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Baltimore Ravens. So the big names that would be on bye, you're looking at your Tony Romos and your Des Bryants and your DeMarco Murrays, who I've got in one league and who has carried me week in and week out. Now I'm scrambling to find someone to replace. Jets-wise, we've got Percy Harvin over there and maybe even a little Eric Decker in a real deep league, 14 team.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Denard Robinson been on a tear. Baltimore, your Torrey Smiths, your Steve Smiths, and Justin Forsett has been a solid running back too.
Solid, yeah. And he got his first 100-yard game last week, I guess. So
yeah, and he's catches the ball in the backfield real well too. So anyway, if you've got those guys, they're on your bench this week. Who are we going to replace them with? Well, here's one name: Denver. Ronnie Hillman out for 2 to 3 weeks. C.J. Anderson sitting on all your waiver wires right now. Go out and grab him. C.J. Anderson last week had 180 multi-purpose yards and a touchdown. So, well, actually, I don't know if he got in the end zone, but he had a bunch of yards. If he's out there, which he should be, go grab him. Now, he will be in a timeshare with Monte Ball, we would think, because they say Monte Ball is coming back.
Right, but he's still coming out of an injury. They're not going to test those waters too much.
Sure, exactly.
Plus, especially a guy the team that throws as much as they do, they're not going to have that happen.
The one thing that what I read about this week is why C.J. Anderson is a good pickup this week is because the most important thing in Denver is Peyton Manning.
Right.
C.J. Anderson is the best blocking running back they have. Monte Ball can't block.
Right.
So they're going to keep the best blocker in to protect Peyton.
Especially if his groin's hurting him.
Exactly.
He ain't going to be blocking for nothing.
You're right. That's C.J. Anderson. So anyway, look for him. Also a guy to definitely keep your eye on. Jordan Matthews, owned in only about 6% of leagues. Philadelphia Eagles receiver Mark Sanchez likes to go to this dude.
You know, did Mark Sanchez throw a pick last game?
No picks.
He about had that one, but yeah, it was Mark Sanchez looked pretty good, didn't he?
He certainly did.
Those backup quarterbacks always have that one guy they practice with all the time.
Exactly.
And once they come on with them. So
absolutely, that's a good call there. Obviously, and we'll talk about this just briefly in our next segment, the buy, sell, or hold segment that's new to the fantasy formula, John Mark, that I really haven't even run by you yet, but we're going to wing it and see how it goes.
You're going to throw it at me tough today.
Exactly, but I'm telling you, Sanchez looks like a top 12 fantasy football quarterback already, immediately. Boom, right. You throw him in. He's got the system around him.
Sure.
Looked good. Looked great last week. Well, with that being said, anything else you want to talk about? Injury reports. We know you guys saw it. Carson Palmer, poor thing, goes down with another ACL tear. That's his second in probably, I guess the first one was in 2009, so his second one in the last 6 years.
Old man.
Oh, man, this probably dooms. I'm not going to say.
You think that's it for him?
I really would feel because he's got to be 36 or 7 years old maybe.
36, 37. I mean, that's not that old.
I just know.
Let's not get crazy here.
But you're not an NFL quarterback, nor am I.
That's true.
So
I feel like my body's gone through that,
yeah,
though.
no doubt. Well, my body has. I tore my ACL a year and a half ago, and I'm telling you, I feel good, but the confidence that you once had playing sports, once you do something like that to your body, you never quite get it all the way back. So anyway, I wish Godspeed, Carson Palmer. I wish you the best, man. But it'll be it'll be an uphill climb.
At least you're a millionaire, piece of junk.
Exactly. So Drew Stanton takes his spot in Arizona now. What do you feel about Arizona with him taking the helm now?
He won all the games while they were gone.
He did.
I mean, Drew Stanton's been waiting for his chance to shine, and he got it earlier this season and did great, and then they had to put old boy back in. So. Yeah. I think he's not a bad pickup, really, to be a backup quarterback. They got weapons.
Think about the quarterbacks with 9 lives this year who came back from the depths of hell. You got Sanchez, who was gone. He could have been out of the league.
Right.
You had Brian Hoyer in Cleveland, and now you got Drew Stanton.
I mean, these guys are just...
You know who the next one to come on the scene is? Cam Newton's backup, Derek Anderson.
Yes.
He might be the next one to pop into place.
I wonder if they're going to pay Cam some money after this year. What do you do?
We talked about it Monday night. We watched the game over at a buddy's house, and after that performance, he's up. He has to get paid this year. There is no way I would pay this dude. No. There is no way he cannot lead my team.
No, you can't give him the money like a Aaron Rodgers is getting or a Joe Flacco. Why he got that money, I don't know. But
one dude made a good point though, because the Panthers have branded themselves like the face of the franchise is Cam. Right. Have they already put too much in it to cut bait now? Question they're going to have to answer.
Right.
And we'll find out soon, I guess.
Well, at least that last dude isn't there to make that decision. He would have definitely paid him.
Yeah, you're right. The last GM?
The last GM was awful.
Yeah, he was.
We still got all his running backs around because of him.
Not next year. I bet you D'Angelo's gone. Would they cut Stewart?
I mean, both of them get injured. I say
cut them both.
Swipe them both.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Charlotte in the offseason for sure. Well, John Mark, I know you're a pretty smart guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Most of the time. And so I want to bring this new segment. It's called Buy, Sell, or Hold. It's kind of based on like stock market talk. So, for instance, if there was a stock mark or a stock that you really like, let's say Apple or Google or whatever, your broker might say, all right, John Mark, we're going to buy this, or we're going to hold it for now and see what it does, or we got to get rid of this thing, we're going to sell it. Well, let's apply that to some fantasy football players, all right? So your 3 options, buy, sell, or hold. I'm going to give you 3 players. You tell me what you would do on all 3, okay?
All right.
The group we've got going are wide receivers. First group, Josh Gordon, who's supposed to come back next week, week 12. He's on his way back. Deshaun Jackson or Odell Beckham Jr. Give me a buy, give me a sell, and give me a hold in that group.
Who do you sell out of those 3? I don't know.
Think about selling. You want to sell high, So if you want to sell it high, meaning if you think they can only probably decline, let's sell them.
You can get some good stuff for them.
Sure, absolutely. Not saying that these guys stink. I'm just saying you can get some value from them right now.
I'm saying let's buy into Odell Beckham Jr.
Love it. Yes.
I'd say hold on to Deshaun and sell on Gordon.
Bingo. I've spoken like a true stockbroker.
Right.
Odell Beckham Jr. The sky's the limit for this guy. Right. Eli looking to throw a lot. Beckham's number 1 there. No Victor Cruz.
Right.
Love it. Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, we're going to hold right now. We'll see if RG3 comes back. If RG3 comes back healthy and starts throwing the deep ball, Deshaun Jackson could be nice.
Right.
We'll hold right now. Josh Gordon. We're selling him because right now he hasn't played a game. But
we have no clue what he's been doing.
You might get some value out of this dude just based on name alone.
Right. You could say, hey, I need a good tight end or a running back for this guy.
Exactly.
Someone's going to bite.
Yep, exactly. You could probably right now for Josh Gordon get an RB2-ish or not a top Julius Thomas or Jimmy Graham tight end, but you could get maybe around the 5th to 7th kind of tight end for Gordon. Good call. All right, next buy, sell, or hold. This is our rookie one. We've got Sammy Watkins, Mike Evans, Kelvin Benjamin. Buy, sell, hold.
I'd say probably in that order. I'd say buy, who was our first one?
Sammy.
Buy Sammy Watkins. I'd probably hold
Mike Evans.
Hold Mike Evans, and I'd sell
Kelvin. Tell me why you sell Kelvin. Just because of what's going on in Carolina?
He can't get the ball to him. No one's doing anything there.
Yeah.
So it's literally because of the offense. It's not because of Kelvin Benjamin. I think he's amazing.
Right. Absolutely. I'd switch it up a little bit. I think I would buy Mike Evans right now. The dude's looking fantastic. Sammy, I'm going to sell because he's the name you could do something. The name, and plus he was out. He's got this groin injury. He's hurt. I'd probably sell him while his name is still on the top of everybody's mind. Benjamin, I'm going to hold for now. Is that right? No, I'm selling. I'm selling Benjamin because no.
No, you.
I'm selling
Benjamin.
Sammy, holding Benjamin behind Mike.
We would have been horrible at the stocks.
I just lost $3 billion.
The market just crashed.
Oh, God, that's good. Okay, next one. All right, this is a running back buy, sell, or hold. LaShawn McCoy, Marshawn Lynch, or an Adrian Peterson who is coming back to the mix. We don't know that. I'm just saying, let's assume.
What do you mean he's coming back
All
to
right,
the mix?
I don't know.
You heard this?
I don't know if you've noticed.
I didn't hear the ding, ding, ding news report.
There's no breaking news. There's no breaking news on that right now. But let's just assume because there's a chance he could come back. And I'm giving it 50-50. That's how true it might be. People are picking up AP in every league. I don't know if you noticed. Right. He's on somebody's team. Let's say AP does come back. Let's rank them. Buy, sell, or hold, McCoy, Lynch, AP.
So I'm probably going to buy AP if that's the case. If he's coming back, I'm going to hold on Marshawn Lynch, and I'm going to sell McCoy.
Yeah, McCoy just really not.
I've got him in my team. It's just not there.
If he was going to do something, it would have been Monday night against Carolina, right?
Right, I would have thought so.
I mean, nothing. He does nothing.
Nothing. Darren Sproles is taken away from his everything.
Big time. Absolutely. Is that it for that one?
That's all I got. I thought you had more to put in there.
Oh, goodness. Okay, this is a tight end one, and this is the upper echelon tight ends, too. So this will be interesting. Buy, sell, or hold, put them in order. Who you like, Jimmy Graham, Julius Thomas, or Gronk. Who you buying, who you selling, who you're holding.
You know, I'm probably buying Gronkowski right now. Probably holding on to Julius and selling, who was the third one?
Jimmy Graham.
I'm probably selling Jimmy Graham right now.
Yeah, you can get some value from his name alone. Something's just still not. I mean, he had a great game last week and 2 touchdowns, but the Saints just don't look right. I don't know. He
almost had that third touchdown.
Yeah, you're right.
The little push off they called.
Exactly. So you could get a lot of value for Graham right now.
Sure.
Julius Thomas is basically as consistent.
He's got more TDs than anybody else in the whole league.
Exactly. Most consistent tight end in the league. Maybe one of the most consistent players in the league because Peyton's throwing to him. And Gronk has got the highest ceiling. That dude could have 5 touchdowns a game.
For sure.
But, there's still questions there. So I like what you're doing there. Right. Last one, quarterback, buy, sell, or hold. Mark Sanchez, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan.
That's a good 3 right there.
That's tough, huh?
I like to go ahead and sell Matt Ryan. Probably hold on to Russell and buy on Sanchez.
Yeah, I like that too. Matt Ryan, they do get a win last weekend against Tampa Bay, but offensive line's still terrible. I like that order right there. Sanchez buy, Wilson hold, sell Matt Ryan.
I could probably switch that Wilson Ryan, because are they ever going to get better again and start throwing to Julio? And they've been throwing a little bit, but they just need to give him the ball every time.
Yeah, he's dominant when he has the ball. They just don't give him the ball enough.
Right. It makes no sense. I mean, that whole coaching staff will be gone next year.
Yeah. Moving. Oh, you know what's interesting though? I don't know if you've seen Atlanta's record. Atlanta is only 1 game out of leading the division.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could win the division.
Right.
That's how bad the NFC South is.
It's awful.
Oh, if Atlanta goes to the playoffs, dude, we got some serious problems.
They might rewrite the rules.
Oh, you're exactly right. They better. All right, dude. Buy, sell, hold. Very nicely done.
Well done.
Next segment, we'll pop into it. We started this one last week. It's our greater than you segment. Remember, it's where I'm gonna call a player's name out. Tell me if you'd rather have this guy for the rest of the season compared to this one. For instance, First one, Frank Gore. Everybody's always down on Frank Gore. Oh, man, he doesn't have it anymore. But what he does is still get you 80 yards and a touchdown a game, it seems. That's what he's going to get you. So would you rather have Gore for the rest of the season or Le'Veon Bell?
I got to go with Le'Veon Bell. He hasn't been great past couple weeks.
He hasn't. He struggled.
But, Frank Gore's hit or miss. I had him earlier in the season, and I had to drop one person on my team, and I picked him to be the least.
Wow,
he goes and scores, a touchdown the next game. But Hyde's getting some run, and every time he gets the ball, he's putting up like 7-8 yards. So he's got to be getting the ball more soon.
Sure, I agree. Gore greater than Jared McKinnon, Minnesota Viking. Who would you rather have?
Jared McKinnon.
Yeah. What about with AP coming back though? See, that throws a whole kind of curve to it.
I guess if you beat your kids, you can do whatever you want. Come back to the NFL, but whatever. I mean, we won't get into that side of it, I guess.
Right. I'll save that one for another podcast. We have a little bit more time.
Yes, or another line of the mesh. I'm sure they talk about those things.
Yeah, I think Addison's got his own show about child abuse
because he was abused as a kid. It shows. I can see that.
Poor Ad. Ad's not here to defend himself again. What do you think about that, Ad? Crickets, crickets, crickets. All right, here we go. How about Gore over Alfred Morris?
I go Alfred Morris as well. I mean, he's starting to turn it on his. I think that offense is going to get better when RG3 gets back.
Like it. And last but not least, to me, the only reason I put this in here because of an injury, but Gore, Andre Ellington with Carson Palmer out. Does it affect Andre Ellington? Would you rather have Gore, who's got a higher floor, or Ellington, who's got the higher ceiling?
Andre's had a great year. I keep with Andre.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Stanton's not going to skip a beat. I think it's going to be one of those that got a good coach over there, good offense. They're going to make it happen.
You know, something to keep in mind, too. Michael Floyd, when Stanton was in the game, was averaging a touchdown a game, and then Palmer came back in and
Larry Fitzgerald.
The Larry Fitzgerald show.
So now, Michael Floyd might be out there.
Might be worth taking a gamble on.
Right.
All right, keep your eyes open on that one, guys. All right, next one, greater than or less than. This is a good one. We talked about him earlier. Odell Beckham Jr., he's on the rise. Would you rather have ODB more than Alshon Jeffrey? ODB all day? Yeah. Alshon Jeffrey with the Bears struggles? You're a Bears fan.
I'm a Bears fan. And, why did they pay Cutler that money? I just don't know. I think there's some issues going on between Cutler and Brandon Marshall. I think there's just some locker room stuff going on over there. It's not going to be solved this year.
Yeah. Well, now we're talking about Brandon Marshall. ODB or Brandon Marshall?
ODB.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Yeah. Word. Brandon Cooks, ODB.
ODB.
Michael Crabtree, ODB.
ODB. I don't think you're going to throw a name out there that's not going to be ODB or
Golden Tate, ODB.
ODB still.
So, dude, we're talking to me. There's some big names. Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Crabtree, Brandon Cooks. Those are some big names. So we got ODB, top 10 receiver right now.
I'd say so.
I think that's where he belongs.
Right.
Yeah, I like it. Good job. All right, buddy. Well, that wraps up the greater than or less than segment. You did a fine job there, John Mark. Let's pop right into our Fantasy 45, fastest 45 seconds in fantasy football. And we mean it this week because we got to get the hell out of here. 8:30 game, Thursday night, Bills, Dolphins. John Mark, right now, Vegas got the number. Miami, 5.5-point favorite. Total is 42. Lamar Miller, he for the first part of the season, he was a wonderful fantasy running back. All of a sudden, he has kind of come back down to earth. He's even losing carries to Damian Williams. I think he only got 4 touches last week. He was a little banged up. Anyway, do you see the Dolphins rebounding against this Bills team?
Well, Miami's played really good defense at home, and they played really well all around at home. So I think Dolphins will take this game. I wouldn't go over the 5.5. So I think Miami under the 5.5, and I'd go under the 42. Yeah,
I'd lean under myself, and I like Miami at home as well. Fred Jackson did make an appearance last game. He's been banged up. Do you trust Fred to put back into your fantasy lineup now?
If you're hurting there, yeah, why not? If you have Justin Forsett or, if you had DeMarco Murray, Denard Robinson, yeah, he'd be worth it.
Mike Wallace worth starting in this game?
Sure, all day.
Wide receiver 2 or flex, maybe?
Yep, all day long.
All right, dude. So we like the Dolphins and under the total. Next up, 1 o'clock Sunday, November 16th, John Mark's Chicago Bears 3-6 playing at home to the 4-5 Minnesota Vikings. Vikings with AP talk surrounding them, swirling all around them. Will they try to take care of a Bears team, really a defense that is reeling? Right now, Chicago's a 3.5-point favorite. The total's 46.5.
Is it worth for the Vikings to bring him back? They're 4-5. They're probably not going to make the playoffs.
It's true.
So what's the point of throwing your franchise under the bus? I just don't get that. But anyways, I think the Vikings will probably win this game. The Bears are struggling so bad. Look out for McKinnon to run a lot on the Bears, as everybody has. Greg Jennings probably going to have a big game. Forte's going to have a huge game always. But
yeah, I'm looking for a Cordarrelle Patterson sighting. The dude has disappeared. If you want to show Cordarrelle, show against this Bears defense. Right. This secondary stinks. So you guys that are playing the dailies, Cordarrelle Patterson, he's down to less than $4,000 to purchase him for the Sunday game. It might be worth maybe gambling. He's done nothing to prove it to us, but
that's all it is gambling.
That's what it is. It's a gamble anyway. So maybe a little bit of Cordarrelle action. I've got Alshon Jeffrey in 2 of my leagues. Man, he's basically going to my bench. I can't trust him.
You're not going to put him in?
In this game, I probably will. I'm saying the last 2, man, I've struggled to put him in, and I'm not seeing the touchdown production. Right. I think I think he had 75 yards. It's not even. He had 63 yards last week.
Right.
So in a blowout where you think he'd be catching some balls.
Everybody's number. I mean, Cutler has won one time against Green Bay. One time.
Wow.
So don't put any money ever on the Bears if they're playing Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm going to lean with you on the Vikings catching that field goal on the road. Actually, I'm going to take the over, too, until Chicago shows us they can stop somebody. Damn, they might make Teddy Bridgewater look like Joe Montana, you know?
No, right.
Who knows? Next up, 1 o'clock kick. We've got the Houston Texans traveling to Cleveland. The 6-3 Cleveland Browns leading their division as we speak right now in the AFC. Texans, they need a win desperately to stay in the hunt. Cleveland, 3.5-point favorite, total 41.5.
Is Fitzpatrick starting this game before their bye week? Didn't they mention that
Mallett is starting?
Starting. I kind of like that.
Good point. We didn't talk about that in our Waiver Wire Wonders, but yeah, Ryan Mallett, if you're desperate for a quarterback with Romo or somebody, Flacco on the bench, Mallett.
Watch Mallett come in and throw some touchdowns.
Well, let's see what he can do. I'm not saying putting him in now, but definitely pay attention to his stat line on Sunday afternoon and see how he looked, because he's got all the tools. Whether he's got it in his head, we'll have to find out, but he's definitely got the tools physically.
I think Texans win this game. What was it, 3.5?
3.5. Total 41.5.
I think they covered that. I think Foster goes off. He is back from his injury.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkins will have a good day. Watch Andre go off in this game, just because sometimes Mallett, they find that big receiver.
That's a good point.
They find the one guy who they know will catch it. They know will get him down the field. So watch out for him.
What's the dude's name that was a Carolina product, and he played for the Texans last year, and he came in? Yeah, there was another guy. Actually went to Texas Tech. He came in the same type of scenario. Schaub, they got benched, and so they brought this dude in for one game. It was like a Monday night game. The dude threw for 3 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this game. And they played the Colts. They were up by 21 and ended up losing the game. But the new quarterback came in, new blood. Andre Johnson had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. So I can see where you're going with this. Look for Mallett to have a good game. If that's the case, I really like over the total, this 41 then. I mean, if they're throwing the ball, it could go over the total.
Texans defense, do they have Clowney back?
No, he's still hurt.
Golly.
Yeah.
What a clown.
Yeah, no doubt. Good good pun.
That was all. That's the kind of stuff my wife hates right there. That corn right there. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm taking the Brown. I'm not even going to pick a number there. I'm going over the total, 41.5. A lot of fantasy points all around. Next up, 1 o'clock Sunday. Here we go. The Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams 6-3. This is actually a really good game on paper. And, dude, wouldn't you know it? Vegas sets the number as Kansas City is the favorite at home. Can show you the difference between 6 weeks. 6 weeks ago, Seattle, everybody thought they were unbeatable. They would have been a 3-point favorite, maybe even 5-point favorite on the road. Now they're a dog. 42.5 is the total. The Chiefs, Alex Smith, we talked about it last game. Very high floor, not really a high ceiling, but high floor. And Jamal Charles having a great year. Who do we like in Kansas City, Seattle?
Well, Kelsey's going to get him a touchdown this week.
You think so? I thought he would last week, and he only had 2 targets.
Sometimes they just don't target him, but when they target him, they win. So it's sort of like the Carolina Panthers with Olsen. You give Olsen the ball, they're going to be moving it. If not, they kind of look at Jamal Charles a little bit too much, and when they start throwing these other guys, it kind of loosens it up for the rest of the team. But I think Kansas City is going to win this game. Seahawks don't play good on the road. 2 of their losses are on the road. They are not looking good. I was looking at the record, 6-3. I thought they were worse than that.
Yeah. You thought the Seahawks were worse than 6-3?
Right. They're not playing good football. So I look for the Chiefs to win this game.
2-2 on the road. The Seahawks. I agree with you, man. Chiefs at home. They're well coached with Andy Reid. Alex Smith doesn't make the mistakes that Seattle normally preys on. That's what their defense counts on, is turning the ball over.
Sure.
Alex Smith doesn't do that, dude. Yeah. So let's go KC minus the 1. I'm gonna lean under the total, 42.5.
With you.
Next up, Panther fans.
My growl's all gone, man. They got growled out the first 2 games.
Yeah, well, they're playing at home. I don't know if that will matter. They're favored. Dude, I wouldn't think they'd be favored against Hickory High at this point.
This is called the Doo-Doo Bowl. Yeah. That's what they're playing in.
So Carolina right now playing at home, 3-6 against the Falcons, who are 3-6. Both teams just 1 game out of leading the division, which is bonkers to me, but that's the case because the Saints are 4-5, and so that's who they're competing with because Tampa Bay is 1-8. So anyway, the winner of this game is going to possibly be tied for the division. Unreal.
The Saints could lose to the Bengals.
Of course. Yes. So, I mean, the Panthers still have a shot, which is mind-blowing. Anyway, Falcons on the road against the Panthers. Carolina, 1.5-point favorite. Total's 46.5. You saw in garbage time Cam, who got destroyed, 9 sacks and 3 picks. But Kelvin Benjamin in the fourth quarter, I think he caught 2 touchdowns, didn't he?
I'm not sure. I stopped watching.
Yeah, I know he caught at least 1, but I want to say he might have got 2 in the.
He's got 7 touchdowns
for the year.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So anyway, can the Panthers get back on track at home against a Falcons team that really has got a terrible offensive line and a defense that stinks too? Go ahead. What do you think?
There's, as bad as it sounds, I think both the defenses stink so much. There's going to be a lot of scoring.
46.5 by Vegas. That's a big total.
Cam can get rolling. We've seen him, throw the ball and get some touchdowns before. And Kelvin Benjamin, watch out for him this game. Julio Jones or Roddy White, maybe both of them are just going to have bunches of points this game. I think. Is Steven Jackson going to get some carries again? I mean, this dude. Did you expect him to do what he's doing this season?
Which is what, suck? Or?
I mean, he sucks, but he's having some games here and there.
He's the main focus of the running game now.
Don't you think they should have put on one of these younger dudes by now and just said, "Let's go"?
Yeah,
let's see what these guys can do.
Do you know these coaches are fighting for their jobs every game, and to put an old. I'm not saying he's an old dude, but you got 2 rookies that are lightning. Put lightning in. You're trying to save your job. Put lightning in. See if it strikes. You know,
if you go to the playoffs, you might get to keep your job.
Exactly. So in this game, where are you going to go? You like the Panthers or the Falcons?
The Falcons beat us, and I think I'm going to go over the over.
Yeah, I'm with you. Falcons over the total, 46.5. So my prediction of Carolina Panthers with only 3 wins all year still stays intact.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
Next up, 1 o'clock game, Bengals at the Saints. Bengals 5-3-1, need a win to stay, keep pace with the Browns. The Saints lose that heartbreaker against San Fran last week. They're 4-5, but typically play well at home, although they didn't do it last weekend against San Francisco. Right now, Vegas number, New Orleans, minus the 7.5, over under 51.
Gio's not back, I guess, yet?
Okay, Gio is 50-50. They say watch your injury report to see if he's going to play.
Which doesn't matter because his backup is also
Hill.
As well. Hill is good.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram's going to go off this game. Do you like Sanu or A.J. Green?
Man, I really still think that A.J. Green's banged up. He's not playing at a not even close to 100%, maybe like an 80% clip. I started Sanu last week against the Browns, and he did nothing. But A.J. Green did nothing either.
Right.
Both. Oh, Dalton, he only had like 80 yards.
Right. So Dalton, this is his week to bounce back if he wants to prove something. He's not good on those big nights anyways.
Right.
Is what they say. So anyways, the big names are going to go off, but we'll see about A.J. Green. I think that New Orleans takes this game over the total.
Yeah, Bengals reeling. This game is in New Orleans. Okay. We were talking about just wide receivers 30 seconds ago. Sanu and A.J. Green will have a big game in this because against the Saints secondary, fast turf, got to keep up with the Saints because they're going to score against the Bengals. Let's go over the total 51, and I kind of like the Bengals to keep it a little bit closer than that. Maybe
under the 7.5.
Under the 7.5. Maybe the Saints win by 7. Boom. Next up, Bucks versus Redskins. RG3, another week under his belt. He got a bye last week, maybe another week healthier. Buccaneers 1-8, out of the playoff race, but now just playing for pride. We've got, as quarterback, Josh McCown back in the mix. You got Mike Evans, who's really coming on now, dude. He's looking like a number 1 receiver for Tampa Bay. On the other side, the Redskins' Pierre Garçon has been a no-show the last 3 weeks. Deshaun Jackson getting his. Alfred Moore still a threat in the backfield. Washington minus the 7, total 45.5.
I'm looking out for Deshaun to have a big game. I think Mike Evans will get another touchdown. I mean, the guy's playing well. The Washington D's not that great. Watch out for Redskins tight end.
Jordan Reed. Yeah.
I think he's going to have a big game. But I think the Bucks are going to keep this thing close. It'll be a field goal, but I think Washington still wins it. Under the total.
Under the total all day long in this one as well. Tampa Bay offense really doesn't move the ball well. Redskins going to try to keep RG3 upright and safe. A lot of Alfred Morris all day long. Let's go under the total, 45.5. Yeah, and I like to see the Buccaneers, maybe they lose by 6, right under that 7.
What about a running back for the Buccaneers? Who'd you, if you had to start somebody out of that backfield?
Bobby Rainey would be the guy right now. They say Doug Martin, he's been hurt. I think he's going to try to play this week. Check your injury reports, but to be quite honest, I don't think I'd start anybody in there. Right. Who's the other dude? Charles Sims.
Yeah, Sims.
He didn't really do anything last week.
The younger guy, I guess, that they would want to maybe let loose to see what he can do. So.
And maybe that's let's watch. Let's really pay close attention to that this week. Maybe it'll give us a good forecast.
Pay close attention, Chad.
Yeah, it'll give us a good forecast of what's to come. Next up, Denver Broncos at the St. Louis Rams. Broncos 7-2, Rams 3-6 at home. Though to me, one of the 2 worst teams to watch in the NFL are the Tennessee Titans. Okay, can you watch? I mean, if they're on and the St. what is there to even watch? You know, at least Oakland is like a tire fire. Like you're going to say, oh, some dude might jump into the stands and slit somebody's throat. You know, some weird stuff might happen with Oakland. But these 2 teams, the Titans and the Rams, dude, it's like watching paint dry. It's brutal.
It's pretty awful. I'll agree with those 2 teams that they suck. But,
yeah. Rams playing host to Denver, so at least if you go to this game, you can watch Peyton and the offense, right?
You know what was one of the worst things this past week is the Rams were playing Arizona, was it?
Yeah.
And Arizona gets those 2 touchdowns at the end of the game, the defense. I'm playing against their defense, like killing this team. And all of a sudden it's just like 20 points pops. I'll be like, what in the heck just happened on that shit? So it was bad, man. It was yeah. Anyway, so I'm glad my Broncos defense will be playing the Rams this week. Denver's going to crush these dudes. -10, I think it will be like 21-point win at least over the total.
Yeah. Only thing I'll say about this, at home, St. Louis seems to play better. They also seem to play better against big teams. Like Seattle came in there, big name. They played them well. Another team with a very good Philadelphia came in there. The Rams played them to a 3-point game.
But they're 1-3 at home.
Yes.
So,
I'm saying they play them close. Right. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but they play them close. So, anyway, in the backfield for the Rams, dude, you take your pick. You got Trey Mason, Zach Stacy, Benny Cunningham. You know what? Bench them all. We don't like any of them.
Same thing as Buccaneers.
Same thing as the Bucs. So for the Broncos, though, you know, you lock and load with everybody. Emmanuel Sanders, you know, everybody just load them up. So anyway, should be. I can't go against Denver right now. Denver -10 over the 51.5. Next up, we're still staying at the 1 o'clock time. San Francisco 49ers travel to the Meadowlands. New York Giants 3-6 at home. The first time in probably 4 years I've heard Tom Coughlin might not make it out of the season. You know, because they were calling for his head. Then he wins the Super Bowl. Right. You know, and it's a bottom time.
Sure.
Now they're calling for his head again. So anyway, Giants really need a win here. 49ers get good news and bad news. Patrick Willis, their all-do-everything linebacker, out for the year. Yeah. Navarro Bowman, they're great, another great linebacker, maybe not back, but they got Alden Smith gets to play back.
And who was that white dude that was tackling everybody last week in New Orleans? He was in on every play.
Was he a linebacker or a defensive lineman?
A linebacker.
I'm not sure.
I forget what his name was, but he was incredible last week. He was the one that actually helped them win and tipped the ball away at the end. But
just think if Alden Smith, I mean, he's a Pro Bowler, dude. I mean, put him on your defensive line, which is already solid. Whew. San Francisco might get a little boost from that. We'll see. Right now, San Francisco is a 4.5-point favorite on the road, total 44.5.
You know, I kind of like the Giants to give them a run for their money with the offense they have at home. I don't see the defense stopping too much, but you were mentioning Frank Gore earlier, how he might give you 100 yards a game. He's only got 553 and 2 touchdowns.
80 yards a game. But
80 yards a game and 2 touchdowns. That is not that stellar.
Yeah,
so
true. Maybe the Carlos Hyde show. Maybe this is the one they bring him in.
They start bringing him in more. I mean, obviously you don't want to start Hyde yet, but let it see what's going to be. But Anquan Bolden dropped how many balls last week? Like 6.
A lot.
He hasn't dropped more than 2 balls, I think, in like how many years?
He's Kaepernick's go-to dude, though. Like Vernon Davis Where have you gone? Where have you been?
Oh, he's hit or miss every
I mean,
week.
gracious, and Crabtree, one big play, but that's all he gets
They
the whole
were
game.
all dropping last week. So I think the San Francisco pulls it together with their wide receivers this week. They'll put up some points. I put it over the 44.5. I think Giants, it'll be a field goal.
Yeah, I like
San Fran probably still wins, but field goal.
Giants plus the 4.5. Let's go over the total 44.5. Keep your eyes on Rashad Jennings. Been out the last few weeks. He will not play this week, but they're trying to get him back for next week. So if you've held on to him all this time, you might get a payday in the end because he's a solid running back too when he's healthy. Next up, Oakland Raiders 0-9. We just talked about them jumping into stands and slitting throats. They're playing against the San Diego Chargers, who in desperate need of a win as well. 5-4, 3-1 at home, so they've got a pretty good a home record, and they need a win. So, John Mark, right now, Vegas, 10.5-point favorite, 45. I'm telling you, every time you look at a Raiders line, doesn't it seem like they're always at least a 10-point dog?
Right.
Every week. Every week.
It's, Chargers coming off the bye, they got to win. I mean, like you said, 3-1 at home. They're going to pull it off, but
Ryan Matthews is back.
Is he really?
He's back.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
So
he's coming back.
And take away from Ben Oliver's, but Ben Oliver probably still get the meat of the beginning.
They said it'll at least start 50-50, and they're trying to, give Matthews more and more, but it'll take some time for that to happen.
Right. So what do you think about McFadden?
I think he's a flex play if you got to have somebody. This is what he'll get you. He'll get you like 40 yards on the ground, and he'll get you about 40 yards receiving. That's about all he's going to get you.
Right.
Not
a touchdown guy.
Yeah, not a touchdown dude at all.
So look for, I think, Floyd to have a big game, but I'm looking for my boy Keenan Allen to come off this game.
We need him. We need him bad because he ain't shown up all year. So let's go Chargers minus the 10.5. I'm probably going to lean to under the total 45. I don't think Oakland scores more than 10.
I like that.
Next up, 4 o'clock or 4:25 game of the day. Philadelphia Eagles 7-2, leading their division against Green Bay Packers, probably the hottest team in all the NFL. You guys saw what Aaron Rodgers did last week. 6 touchdowns in the first half.
Ridiculous.
What?
Looked like he was having a blast.
Oh man, when he's on like that, can you imagine how fun it would be if you're playing in front of the whole world and you're on fire and everything you do is gold?
Let's close our eyes and imagine right now.
You know what? Actually, that happens to me every day, John Mark. That's actually just a typical day in the life of Chad East. Don't I wish? Packers playing. They are playing at Lambeau Field. The Philadelphia Eagles coming off that shellacking of the Panthers. This should be a good game. Green Bay minus the 6, over under 55.5.
Oh, man, I think Green Bay is going to work the Eagles. Sanchez, I mean, did you see Cutler in Lambeau last week? I mean, once they get rolling, like if the Packers get the ball first and go and score it as easy as they did the last time, Sanchez is going to it's going to get in that dude's head. Yeah. I think Foles might have been able to pull this thing out, but Sanchez, I don't think he's ready for this big stage.
Wow. I actually like Sanchez better than Foles, but not in this scenario. I mean, Green Bay at home, they are on fire. I like this total to fly up. 55 is probably the biggest total we've seen all year. I mean, they normally are like 52 to 54. This is 55.5. I don't care, man.
I think it over, and Green Bay over the 6.
I think it flies over, and because Green Bay's at home, I'm going to lean minus 6 to them too. But I really like the total 55.5. Eddie Lacy got kind of back on track, you know. I mean, he's looking good. LaShawn McCoy, maybe we'll see it this week. I'm not counting on it, but if the Eagles want to stay in this game, they got to get McCoy involved.
Sproles had 2 touchdowns last game.
I know, 2
One
touchdowns.
was a punt return, but Sproles is getting the touches that's taking his touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm sure McCoy's getting probably frustrated with that too, but should be a good game at Lambeau. Next up, the 2 teams with the best records in all of the land matchup, okay? So you got the Detroit Lions 7-2 against the Arizona Cardinals 8-1. They are 5-0 at home. Now, we talked about Carson Palmer out for the year with the ACL. Drew Stanton takes the helm. He's going to be the leader now. Do they have enough offensively and defensively to hang with this Detroit Lion team? Las Vegas has it. Arizona minus 1.5, 42.
Man, this is a game I don't bet on, period. I mean, the Cardinals are well coached. I think that
maybe one of the most well coached teams in all the NFL.
So, but the Lions' offense is just. I mean, you got old boy back. I mean, Calvin
Megatron,
Johnson, Megatron. I mean, I think it's going to go over the total, personally. Drew Stanton's going to hang with them. Yep. I think they'll put up maybe at least 21 points, but I think Lions take this game.
Man, I think we've drank the same Kool-Aid today because I think Detroit gets it done on the road at Arizona. Now, the Carson Palmer injury, completely concur. Drew Stanton's going to be fine. They're going to be fine in that. But Arizona has not seen a defensive line. Like, Detroit is playing some D right now. Right. I think they're going to be all over him, forcing him into some turnovers. Calvin Johnson show on the other side. He likes playing the Cardinals. That dude gets 2 touchdowns a game against the Cardinals. So we're going Detroit plus the 1.5. We get that extra 1.5 too. And let's go over the 42. It's the Megatron show.
Are you sure this other game's not the game of the week?
You know, it might be. There's a lot of pretty damn good games. Yeah, look at this. So Sunday night comes around, you're shaking off the hangover from Saturday, you drank till you started feeling better. Now it's 8:30, 60 minutes is over, and you probably need to go to bed, but you flip it on like, whoa, Tom Brady, Andrew Luck. Let's go. 7-2 Pats on the road against the 6-3 Colts. To me, I like the Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh is my team, but I'm telling you, my second favorite team now is Indianapolis. I don't know why I like them so much. Andrew Luck.
That guy, he's easy to cheer for.
Yeah, really.
He's very cool, calm.
Yeah, I enjoy watching him.
Much. He just wants to get his players the ball and win.
Absolutely. Right now, the Colts, they need a win. This is a great game. Indianapolis minus 2.5, so they're favored against the Pats. Total 58.5. So that's higher than that 55.5.
Yeah.
Woo! What would you do here, John Mark?
Oh, man. Another one I probably wouldn't bet on.
Yeah.
You know, it's too close to call. Would you even take the Pats defense here?
No. I think I would have to bench them.
You have to bench them, right?
Yep.
So, anyways, I think the Colts probably take this game.
I like it.
At home, but the Pats are going to keep it close. But it's only a field goal, so Indianapolis over, and I go over the total still, 58.5.
If it was even money on quarterbacks to have the most throwing touchdowns, who would it be? Who would you take, Luck or Brady?
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, how many would you think he had? Over under 3. What would you take?
Over.
Over 3. Brady over under 2.5.
Over.
So you see a quarterback shootout here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If Las Vegas has the number at 58.5, that means they think both teams are going to get like 28.
Right.
So that's 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see it happening.
I mean, but, you know, Bradshaw, he'll get touchdowns on the ground or in the air. So.
Gronk, over under 2 touchdowns.
Over.
Brandon LaFell, over under 1.
Under.
Yeah. Julian Edelman, over under 1.
I think he goes off.
Yeah. Anyway, see, y'all like this? It's a fun game, over under. We just added a new game. Okay. Hey, fun. So anyway, going to be an awesome game, 8:30. Then we come to the Monday night stinker of the year, the team we just talked about a minute ago.
Go to bed. Don't even watch it.
Tennessee Titans 2-7 at home. I mean, I don't care.
Why is this on? Can they not change the Monday night schedule?
They can change the Sunday schedule, but the Sunday night games are already so good all the time.
Right.
Monday nights suck.
It's awful. It's not even worth it.
Yeah. I almost like the Thursday night games better than the Monday night games.
You might as well catch up on the shows you missed late in the week.
Keep your wife happy.
That's right.
You know. Watch
Scandal.
Yeah. What's the other ones? Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. The Golden Girls. I don't know what. Is your wife getting happy for that?
That was on my DVR. I'm sorry, that wasn't Jennifer. That's on my DVR. I love B. Arthur and what's the other Rue McKillen or whatever she was. She was the
snapping and dancing.
She was the slutty old one. Do you know which one I'm talking about? This, always trying to pick up old dudes. Oh, she was awesome.
Old slut.
Old slut herself. Anyway, back to football. 8:30 Monday night. Steelers Titans. Pittsburgh, a 6.5 point favorite on the road, total 46.5 after Big Ben's 2 weeks in a row of 6-6 or 6 and 6 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns total. He comes back to earth against the Jets, the lowly Jets. Would he get it back on track against the Titans?
I think he gets about 4 or 5 touchdowns this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's going to go off for Tennessee, but I don't think anybody.
Bad thing is they got weapons, and I say weapons meaning Kendall Hunter and the
Kenny Walker.
He's hurt now, but there's another receiver there who they never give him the ball. It's time, and Mettenberger, quarterback, Bishop Sankey in the backfield. They're all young. They're all 1 or 2 years in the league.
Right.
Let it loose.
Yeah.
Just let it fly. You know? I mean, what do you have to lose?
Climb the tree, jump out, and see how you do.
Go for it on 4th and 12. You know,
Right.
run a flea flicker, run a fake punt. Give it. Do something.
Right.
You
Make it interesting
stink.
to watch.
Exactly. Anyway, Monday Night Football, oh, God. I'm going to go with the Titans. After all that being said, maybe they do let it fly. Maybe they let it fly.
You're going with the Titans?
And I'm going to go, not to win the game, but maybe to keep it close. And let's go.
Pittsburgh's blown.
They only scored 7 points last week, the Titans. Yeah. Can you really go with them?
No.
All right, I'm changing. I'm going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh
all
day
over 6.5.
long.
Yeah. The over-under, I'd probably stay under.
Yeah, under the total. If Tennessee only scores 7.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh scores 38, still stays under the total.
Might be a good defense to start this week.
Could be a real good defense to start. All right, so let's go Pittsburgh and under the total. All right, buddy. Fastest 45. We did good on that one. We kept that one too.
That might be fast like 60.
Yeah, well, less than that, I'm thinking. That's pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. So anyway, that wraps up Fantasy 45. John Mark, I got one question that was emailed in. Well, there was actually a lot of comments got emailed in about Addison because Cincinnati got waxed by the Browns. So it seems we have a Cleveland following to the fantasy formula.
You want me to play talk like Addison?
No, please don't. Please don't. But anyway, it was a lot of hate mail toward Addison. I wish I could. Well, I might be able to. Anyway, I don't think I can find it on my phone real quick, but a lot of people really relished in Addison's.
Gist of what it was.
One of them, it's okay. Actually, give me 10 seconds. You just talk amongst yourselves real quick. All right, here it is. So he says, this is my conversation with Addison regarding the Cincinnati game. So he was actually texting with him during the game.
What a fan.
Yeah. Y'all suck donkey. Well, anyway, so I can't read all this stuff. Some of this is really bad. This is what my friend said in response to Addison. He said, screw all Browns fans. That about sums it up. That's all Addison can come back. Addison's not real witty, and so he's normally one of the guys for like when he's trying to throw barbs at you, it's like, you stink, or he's nothing, it's nothing real witty it's creative. Right. It's like you stink or your mama, So what my friend says is maybe show up for work sometime so I can hear your whiny ass and your terrible comments at the fantasy formula. So what he's saying is he listens constantly.
Right.
Addison's never here anymore. So he's like, just show up for work sometime. Maybe you can learn something.
It'd be nice to see him back.
Absolutely, it really would.
Taking time out of my day here.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. Time is valuable. So anyway, this is a question. It's our fantasy question of the week, coming from one of our valuable and reliable listeners. This guy listens every week too. Rob W. from Raleigh.
What up, Rob?
Says fighting for a playoff berth. Need depth at wide receiver. An offer on the board is as follows. Would you accept it? I have Matt Stafford. I have been offered a trade for Kaepernick and Alshon Jeffrey, or Kaepernick and Edelman, or Kaepernick Sanu, or Kaepernick or Josh Gordon. First of all, do you take the deal? And second, if you do take the deal, which receiver do you want? This is tough.
If he has no backup quarterback,
he's getting Kaepernick. See, the deal is for Stafford
but
and Kaepernick.
Do you want Kaepernick? I mean, you're giving away Stafford,
who has just been lukewarm, but he's got Megatron.
He's got Megatron.
I
mean, I don't think I could give Stafford up. I'd have to know obviously what his wide receivers are, which we don't have the call in, so we don't know. But for those receivers, they're all hit or miss. Alshon's hit or miss.
Julian Edelman,
he's been hit or miss. I mean, he might go off one game, but there's some guys out there in wide receiver you would think if it's a 12-league team,
14-team league. That's why he's saying there's no depth out there. There's nothing even left on the waiver wire.
Maybe he's got to do it then.
Yeah, and I mean, do you roll the dice? I mean, Josh Gordon could be a top 5, but you just don't know.
I could not trade it for Gordon.
Well, tell me who you pick. Right? Would you have Alshon or Edelman? Is what it boils down to. Edelman.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I like the quarterback better. That's all it comes down to.
True. I like that too. I think you do make this deal too, Rob. Go ahead and make the trade. Yeah, Edelman. I guess I would call the same thing.
Any more questions? That'd be awesome for y'all to keep emailing questions. I like that.
Absolutely. That's a lot of fun. Well, John Mark, hey, man, great show. We're coming to you on a Wednesday, November the 12th. Couple good games NFL-wise this weekend for sure. Some big college games on Saturday. You around this weekend?
I will be not. I'm going up to Western Carolina this weekend for the VMI game. About 25 fraternity brothers all getting back together, and we have rented a cabin.
Wow.
This place is going to get trashed. I mean, I feel completely sorry for the people who rented this thing to us. But, some people are going down Thursday. Mm-hmm. This was the first time I feel somewhat mature where I said, you know what, man, I'm going to come Friday.
Wow.
and just I can't do 3 nights like that.
Yeah, you're growing up, man. You're growing up right in front of our eyes.
Can you see it?
Yeah, baby's all grown up. I'm proud of you, dude. His wife,
Yeah, what are you
wifey's
doing?
going too?
No.
It's just dudes.
Just the dudes.
Good night.
And the texts have been going around, and it is scary. I'm nervous. I'll be happy to come home alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Well, be careful up there in the woods of Cullowhee, North Carolina. Is that what it is?
Carolina, beautiful valley.
Yeah, big news on my front here. We're going, so I've got my first basketball practice with my Olivia starts Friday.
Cool.
And then the semifinals of the soccer playoffs start Saturday at 10, the finals at 12. So we made it to the semis. Got to get by a tough Hickory team, and then if we do, we play a Conover team for the trophy.
Right.
This is the league that Olivia made the stop last year and kicked the winning goal, scored
nice.
it. This is that league, so we're trying to go back-to-back championships. Yeah, so
Well, you
should be a
call
lot
me
of
up
fun.
if you actually need a coach over there to
Oh.
show you how the balling
I
happens.
will, buddy. We'll do it. Well, buddy, have a safe trip to Cullowhee. Magic Hands, good job on the mics, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Later.
Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.